Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are back with Thursday Talk.
GAIN&APPLY with me, Anis, and
AHLAAM.
And today our topic would be entertainment, and we have two special guests with us to join in our conversation. We have Aisha and we have Anik. Can you guys introduce yourself to our listeners?
Okay, ladies first. So hi, I'm Aisha. I'm from Bachelor's of Economics, minoring in Finance. It's my third year now. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Anik Fahmi. I'm from Bachelor of Economics, third year. What else?
Okay, so since we're talking about entertainment, right? What's your go-to entertainment? How do you entertain yourself in your free time, or whenever you're feeling down? Do you listen to music, and what type of music do you listen to?
So if it's music specifically, I would listen to everything. I don't really have a genre. I know some people they like K-pop and they just listen to K-pop. I don't really have a genre, and if the song is good, the song is good. But there's a sense of a certain period that I would listen to the same one song for a really long time. That's it. That's how I kill my time.
Until you get tired of it?
You get tired of it and you just search for a new song.
So my go-to form of entertainment is mainly YouTube and music. I mean, I go on YouTube to watch vlogs, and from a music genre, it's mainly, I guess, rap and pop. I like to listen to Eminem. He's really good. You guys should listen to him. And recently I've been listening to Halsey and
oh, good.
Halsey.
You should do that.
She's really cool.
I've been listening to her for 4 years now.
Wow. I just got to know Halsey. Right.
How do you guys define what good music is? I know you guys are not picky with what you listen to, right? But how do you decide this is good? Is it the lyrics? How if it's relatable, or is it just the melody? If it feels good, it's good.
I think it depends on the mood. But basically it depends on everyone's preference, because again, there's a mention that if a person has one favorite artist, they just go for that. But it seems for me personally, it goes between either they have good lyrics or they have good beat. There's no specific, this is good music because of certain things. It's just good music when you listen to it. If you have goosebumps listen to it, then that's a good music.
So what if it's catchy but the lyrics are really vulgar?
I don't mind vulgar.
That's basically Eminem, though, you know.
Yeah, is it?
His beat is hardcore, but But I think for me, since music is subjective and my preference is, it has to have a nice beat, it has to have meaning behind the song. So I think pop songs these days are very repetitive and they don't really have much meaning behind them, or they're very conventional. I mean, they talk about drugs and money and everything. Yeah.
Do you ever when you really like a song, do you ever analyze the lyrics, what it means, how, why did the writer write the song, the singer sing the song?
Yeah, I mean, I analyze that stuff as if it's an assignment. It gets very interesting sometimes.
To a certain point I do, but I guess in the sense of, if I'm feeling down, and there are certain songs you play when you're feeling sad, and those songs I try to deconstruct the lyrics. So if you are feeling down, especially people who have depressions have their own go-to songs. So if you ever or never heard of Sufjan Stevens, you should try and listen to it, because his whole album is much more towards depression. And if you really look at the lyrics more closely, and you know that from the steps of process of struggling to the point that he has the epiphany of getting better and stuff like that.
So music is not only a form of entertainment, but a therapy also for a lot of people, right?
It's like an escapism for a lot of people.
It's delivering some message to us.
What about the current pop culture? What's your opinion on it? Do you keep up with the pop culture, whether Korean pop culture, Malaysian or Western, or are you not interested in it?
it's not that I'm not interested in it. If I've stumbled upon it and article about it on Twitter or something like that, then I would read it, but it's not something I would search for. But if I'm reading it and I have any thoughts and opinion about it, but most of the time pop culture is excuse me, very sampled, which means that every pop group out there is pretty much identical to one another. So it doesn't really affect me that much, but I know a lot of younger generations, especially the millennials, really follow them, i.e. not their music of what they convey the message of. It's just really everything from how they look, how they talk and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, the very definition of pop culture is popular culture, which means that everyone sort of has the same taste and preferences, and so everyone is basically becoming the same.
Yeah, it's like, I think pop culture is like a huge influence on us, right? Like you said
Yeah.
before, people try
To imitate
yeah,
Everyone
try
tries
to imitate.
fit into the image society,
Yeah, and it's not always
the
a
best.
good thing, yeah.
because it doesn't force you to think for yourself, and which makes us sheeps in a way, I guess.
Exactly. And how do you think like it affects Islam and Muslims? Like
Because
the Western media.
I guess in a way that because we think it's very, they make what they wear and what they talk very normalized. So in very, very younger generation, they think it's okay because then again, they don't have the proper knowledge or the proper exposure to the deeper meaning of Islam, especially in kids. They just see what's interesting and that's what they copy. And it's very innocent, but to us an adult seeing those kids do that, it's very inappropriate to us, but it's not really, and you just have to teach them. There's nothing wrong with just teaching and just accepting faults, and if they don't listen to you, that's because they're kids. They're not supposed to. But you have the patience of being the adult because you're the adult. You can't just go to your level and be children and be at their level.
I mean, it's parents' responsibility to filter out what their child is listening to. Yeah, and in terms of influence, I think from an Islamic perspective, it would be perceived that the Western pop culture is trying to plant their seed in the minds of the Islamic kids. And, you know, when you shape people from when they're young, that could determine how they're going to be in the future. Yeah.
And have you guys heard, because I know like you're passionate about sexual harassment and stuff, so have you guys heard about Harvey Weinstein?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and what he did and all. Like, how do you think like has impacted the entertainment industry, especially for women and other men involved in it? Like,
I think it. Wait, let's recap. The Harvey Weinstein case is how did it go again?
that he basically sexually harassed
Right.
people who were new to the industry.
Right,
Like, they
in
took
o-
advantage
In
of
order
them.
to give them a free ticket into Hollywood to get famous, right? So I guess that person, I mean, what he did really tainted the image of women. And then there's this issue of feminine inequality and the rise of feminism and everything. Because society's perception is that, you know, men work really hard to get into the Hollywood scene, but then women can just, let's say, exploit themselves. But then again, this is a huge misconception. It's just this Harvey Weinstein dude that really personified this case. Yeah. What do you think?
What do you think?
Agree to disagree. Because like for me, I know that any industry, whether it's music or not, there's always the gender discrimination where of course men will pay more and will be more well received than women unless they reveal themselves in a way. And with the Harvey Weinstein case, it's pretty much he groomed them. And in that sense, it's pretty much has, because it's not really an old case, but it's pretty much something that accumulated to how it is now. And to see the more OGs of artists, of female artists coming together with the Me Too movement and stuff like that,
Right.
and really coming together with the female empowerment, But I know, again, there's sort of a double-edged sword, because of course on the other end, yes, we have to protect these women and stuff like that, but at the same time there's the backlash of that allegations might not be true, might be true, and the whole you wear those stuff, you yourself asked for it, and that's really something that we really need to change, because again, female empowerment is about everyone. It's not really just because you're good and you're nice,
Right.
you're
Yeah.
entitled to be female empowered.
Yeah. So it's more of a two-way street then.
Yeah.
So the question was how the Harvey Weinstein case affected. What was it? Forgot.
The entertainment industry.
Oh, the entertainment
Wait,
industry.
before that, we're gonna take a short break.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, we'll be right back. So we were just talking about sexual harassment and in the entertainment industry. There's also another thing that I was curious about, pornography. You know how it's a form of entertainment for many people as well. Do you think that it is one of the major causes for sexual harassment? And like, if it were to suddenly like be banned or something, do you think it would like, help at all? Yeah.
Okay, in my opinion, pornography itself, of course, in the sense, in Islamic sense, of course, it's haram, it's bad and stuff, but in the sense of individualism, it's okay, because, okay, here's the thing that I'm not against pornography, because here's the thing, because girls, they read romance novels. So inside those novels are pretty much the kind of a graphic explanation or descriptions of those scenes, which you might not heard this term called smut, S-M-U-T. So it's pretty much the girl version of pornography, but it's more sense of you visualizing it in your own head. It's more emotional, it's more romance-based, of more tender-like. If you've heard of pornography before, it's pretty much for your fantasy, your foreplaying. It's very much targeted to men. So it's not really bad in the sense of, oh, we should ban pornography. It's more of, you have to educate yourself. Okay, this is pornography. This is your one of the ways to entertain yourself. But it's not the concept or the theory of, okay, this is sex. This is how you get a girl. It's not how it is. But the fact that a lot of, not even younger generations, our generations, like our male friends in the male community, because we aren't allowed to have a relationship, with a physical or a romance relationship with them, they tend to think those pornography, this is the way it is, to say that this is romantic, this is how you win a girl's heart, this is how they're supposed to act with you. So when it comes to that, they expect you to be submissive, because that's what they watch. And it's not really banning them, it's more just educating, like, okay, this is a sense of entertainment, but you need to know about how to respect women, how about consent, how about the personal space. And that's why I think the whole taboo around, like, I have against of the people that are anti-sex education in Malaysia, because you are aware that you can say, oh, my brothers don't watch porn. You don't know that they have their own personal time with one of their guy friends. And you can't really control men, because you have the perception in the Malay society of they're boys and boys will be boys. And you can't have that all the time. You have to educate them, because we're always educating women, oh, you have to be proper to protect yourself. But you have to teach men as well, okay, you have to respect women and you have to protect them as well. But that sexual education treats or educates them and teaches them, Malay people think it's the positions and stuff. It's not that. It's not how you wear a condom. Of course there's safe sex, but it's more of consent, personal space, and just how do you have to learn the body language of a girl feeling uncomfortable and saying no. But because of, in those pornography, saying no and those stuff is a way of saying yes. And that's how men are inclined to, oh, this is a yes from you, it's not really a no. And And I think we have to not really entirely remove, because if we remove that in a sense, then you're just giving a double standard, because if you want to remove pornography, you should remove romance novels as well, but you're not. So you have to have an equal base with both genders. So yeah.
I agree. Like, I also think, like, if you ban it, it will lead to more curiosity. Like,
Yeah,
people will be more
because-
curious.
Because kids are supposed to
Yeah.
follow strict rules.
And,
But if you provide them with the proper education, with the proper channel, they will learn it in a good way, rather than
Yeah.
you're secretively doing it with your friends and stuff like that. They experiment and stuff, because
exactly.
right now what they're watching is just a theory, and they will have the sense of, I need to practice it. That's where the whole sexual harassment comes, because they have the tendency to, what will it feel like if I do it without, again, the consent of female, or sometimes even male, because there's always sexual harassment in the male community as well.
So true. Wow. Okay.
And this pornography industry is from first it established and until now is always success.
Yeah.
It's never go down. It's always go higher and higher. So if the plan to ban is very impossible. So
Yeah.
as individual we need to
Teach
be-
yourselves.
be clever to how to handle it.
Because I read smart as well, but that doesn't mean I have to incline to do it. It doesn't work that way. You yourself know your iman, and you yourself have to teach yourself. If you feel like you have a lower iman, you may have to re-inspect your life, who you're friends with, like who are you going to become, and you're pretty much really just educating yourself. That's the most important thing. Yeah.
Educated. Yeah. It's important.
Oh yeah, and pornography sets the man's standard of that's how a woman's supposed to look like, because in pornography the women are very curated to the voluptuous body type and what man expects. That's why you have a lot of, I know I'm deviating from the topic, but there's a lot of like divorce rates now in the younger couple, because men has
Certain
watched so
expectations.
many pornography. There's certain expectation that this is what the lady part's supposed to look like, but that's not how it is. So again, educate yourself, because that's, again, even pornography itself, like Pornhub has disclaimers saying that this is just a fantasy, it's not real life. They themselves have stated.
Interesting.
So you'll see that men are just hungry in a way, but again, you have to control your own iman. That's all. Really, you can't really blame anyone. So
that's
because
true.
in sexual harassment, this whole victim blaming thing, the whole she asked for it, she wore like that, she needs to get it, like that's not fair for the other part, the victim. So, yeah.
Yes. So before we end our slot, so this is the last question.
Okay.
As we all know that the younger generation, we more like to listen to Western K-pop song. So why not Malaysian song? So what do you think? The missing of Malaysian entertainment industry, why they do not choose Malay song?
Okay, because we have the whole, like, I too am in that category, but again, there's a sense of, I think, okay, I used to listen to Malay, but it doesn't evolve from there. It's just really like Indonesian sappy love songs. There's nothing else but that. Right now, the most like revolutionized artists are like, what was his name? The Ragaman song. I don't know what's his name. Faisal Tahir. I think Faisal Tahir is one of the most respected artists in Malaysia, and I can really respect him because he doesn't just go for sappy songs. He might did that in the past, but he deviates. He changes his sense of music and the way he does curate his music based on the now public and like the kids now, rather than just having the whole templated, this is a breakup song. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. And with the options within the K-pop or even American or even just Western, and not really just American, just like Western and European from other languages, they, of course, there's the sappy love songs genre, that kind of type of songs, but there's also other type of songs from just angsty to more very well curated songs. If you never heard of WANI, so if you haven't heard of him, if you've heard of him, you'll know how his song's pretty much different from everyone else. Very slow, it's very mellow. So it's not really just those type of songs like Malay typical songs. But I'm not condemning Malay typical songs in a way, because again, there's a lot of targeted groups in Malaysia that listens to that, because if they aren't, why do we have Era.fm and Hot FM?
Exactly.
We still have it, but
That's true.
you'll see that only most of the
Older
people, more of the 90s kids generation, no, they're not really our late 90s or early 2000s kids. So yeah.
So basically, what's important is originality and like to keep it varied, right? Like that.
Yeah. You just have to adapt, because you're in an industry where it's always changing. If you stick to one thing, you'll be just stuck in the past, and that's not really what you want. Because again, like what he said just now, our friend said just now about Eminem, he's been in the industry for like more than 20 years. How can he be relevant now if he did change what he needs to change?
That's true. So I guess it depends on the artist, I guess. Also, So we've come to the end of our show. I just want to say thank you so much, Aisha, for taking your time to come here and be our guest. I really loved our conversation. It was very intellectual.
I also appreciate it.
Yeah, I learned a lot from you, like especially about sexual harassment and how it impacts the entertainment industry. So
So that's it for today's slot. So tune in again with us, Gain and Apply Thursday Talk, every 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. with me, DJ AHLAAM, and
Anis.
yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.